Hello and welcome to another episode of Kerbal Space Program with me, Matthias Weiss. And today I will show you the launch of one of my newest concepts. This is a fuel tanker module for, kind of a truck system I have established on the moon. What you see here is a launch booster stage, etc., and the actual dropship, which will then put this thing here in the middle on the lunar surface. Because of the high weight, etc., this design is not capable of getting to the moon itself. That's why I have a big docking port here, and a standard Proteus tanker will just dock here and push it to the moon. But I will show you that later. We don't want to waste time, so let's just start everything up. We engage the Mechjeb autopilot for a standard 100 kilometer out ascent. Sorry. And let's go. So as you see directly from the start, all engines are firing. For the initial boost, we also use solid rocket boosters on this one. It is an unmanned spacecraft, and so my policy is always to never use solid rocket boosters to get Kerbals into orbit. But as this thing is unmanned, the use of solid rocket boosters is okay for me. Boosters already burned out. We are on our way into orbit already. 5 kilometers. The standard turn will be at, I think at 12 kilometers. Let me see. 12 kilometers with a end turn at 70 kilometers. So just the standard Mechjeb settings I normally use for my launch vehicles. The actual dropship design, this spider kind of spider thingy here, is not reusable in this configuration. You will see it later. But as you see, this transport cage I built is not horizontal, so you will see how it will be deployed to the lunar surface. Yeah, we are at 27 kilometers now, so it's I think it's getting just before sunrise here. Really love those atmospheric effects here. Add a very, very nice touch to the overall game experience. As I said, this thing is part of a kind of truck system. And there we have a sunrise. It's kind of part of a truck system. I have 2 main engine parts or truck parts already up there, and 1 other of these tanks, and a kethane module. So in this series I'm using a total of 3 different mods. First of all, of course, Mechjeb as always, and then you see on this vehicle here these quantum fuel transfer system, both sides, and of course to actually get the resources, the kethane one in the actual version. We are at the last small tank in this combination, and it should be over soon, so there goes the booster, and all that is left is now the dropship. Because of the heavy load of this cage and yeah, this module here, I had to use reaction wheels to keep it stable during the landing. Yeah, with a total of 8 of these inline reaction wheels, it turns very, very quick. Okay, we are in orbit, so it has enough battery power to sustain itself for a little time, but just to be safe, we will extend panels. And now it's time to actually launch the freighter. Okay, I accidentally said freighter. Of course it is a tanker, and the system is designed to bring 2 of these medium fuel tanks, or the equivalent of 1 orange tank, into orbit. And this will be more than enough to get our main spacecraft to the moon. You see here the standard launch system I use on most of my rockets, and this is actually the standard Proteus tanker, but in the Mark II version, which has a big docking port instead of a normal docking port on the front. So we have already selected our target, and we can now launch to rendezvous using Mechjeb. Only 30 seconds remaining, so warp factor is already gone down. And liftoff. As you see, this is a standard, as this is a manned spacecraft, I use my standard launcher, which totally relies on liquid fuel, so no solid rocket boosters here. One of the awesome things about Kerbal Space Program version 0.22, besides of course the absolutely fantastic career mode, which is really, really funny and actually pretty challenging, as you know, you get so used to having all parts available from the beginning in sandbox mode, so it is actually a fun experience to start just with the basic stuff and work your way up during science. But another of the really, really cool, awesome features is the sub-assembly loader that is now integrated into the game, so I can just save this launch stage here as a sub-assembly and just stick it on every rocket I have or I'm building. So I don't have to rebuild it again and again, or just chop off the head and build from there. So I can easily access it as a sub-assembly. We have a nice and stable flight here. It's, yeah, this is very old concept rocket I had. I think I made it a year ago or something like that, and still use it for almost all my booster stages. is quite efficient, and yeah, just as you reach 10 kilometers, you have a speed of 230 to 250 meters per second. The outer shell gets thrown away before the actual turn starts. That's why I don't use separatrons like on this stage. And yeah, with this design, you are capable to lift more than one big fuel tank into orbit with lots of spare fuel for maneuvers, which is of course always nice. Yeah, piloting this thing is Wilk Kerman and Bob Kerman. I don't know where Jeb, Bob and Bill are. I think they are on my KSS station at the moment. I have to really look it up. Yeah. There on this island is the runway of the hidden base next to the Kerbal Space Center. The mountain ranges in the back of the continent. Already down to the last tank of the second shell of this booster design. Yeah, we're almost totally pitched over now. There goes the auto shell. It's still on a suborbital trajectory, so no waste in space. And yeah, as you probably might know from previous episodes, we have batteries and Mechjeb here, so with the fuel left in this stage, we can easily deorbit it. So we don't litter up our low orbit. Okay, we are now out of the atmosphere, though it's time to deploy our large solar sails. Not solar sails, solar panels. It's not a solar sail. And hopefully, I didn't actually change the launch phase angle, so our rendezvous is far from perfect this time, I think. But hopefully we are close enough for a direct approach from there. We will see. Last preparations for the circularization burn once we reach apoapsis. And we are in orbit. Now let's see how far away are we from our target. Whoa! Okay, that was not a perfect launch. But we have the rendezvous autopilot, so actually we don't need the stage anymore. can deorbit it later. But the maneuverability of the spacecraft is much higher without this booster stage attached. Oh, separation at our closest approach is 10 kilometers, which is basically right now in about 10 seconds. Reach our maneuver node. And yeah, Mechjeb decided we are close enough for direct burn. Of course, this is not the most fuel efficient way to do it, but we have so much fuel in this stage and we don't need everything to get to the moon. So I didn't even bother to think of a better way to do it. And there is our target. And I found out that even the docking autopilot works pretty well. So I thought, why not use it this time to do the actual docking? Yeah, but this will take a little bit too long, so from this position at least, so let's just get a little bit closer first. And from this position I think we can use the docking autopilot. Just check the results here. With the awesome laser. Oh yeah, that's another mod I use, but it's not necessary for a plugin I use. It's not necessary for these crafts to work to have it installed. But I personally like it, and it's still the best docking camera in the game, I think. So yeah, in all other episodes until now I did the docking manually, because some versions ago the Mechjeb docking autopilot was kind of not working correctly, or yeah, just too stupid to dock. And I never used it, but yeah, I wanted just to show you that it's actually, if you are not so experienced with docking, or you think, meh, you don't want to do it alone and rather have a computer do all the work for you, with Mechjeb now it can be done totally on autopilot. Just as you see here, Mechjeb is very careful with the docking speed, and it takes a little bit of time, so I would still I still think that it's best if you do the approach either with Mechjeb or or on your own manually, and get in a range of about 50 meters or closer to the target before activating the docking autopilot. Otherwise it just takes ages. And you can see it in the docking autopilot window. The actual docking speed is at about 10 meters, 0.10 meters per second. Yeah, that's basically just, it is only 10 centimeters per second, or for the guys which are not so familiar with the metric system, something about a little bit less than 3 inches per second or something like that. So yeah, not really fast. Okay, we're coming in close. See these slight corrections here, but yeah, we are already very good aligned here. And we're docked. So next step would be to shut down this engine and make sure to set the control to this spacecraft. Why didn't you shut down the engine? Shut down engine. Yeah. And we could now go to the moon, but this episode is going on for long enough already, so I will split it up here. And in the next part we will fly to the moon and land this thing and dock it to the modules who are already on the surface. Thank you for watching, as always. My name is Matthias Weiß. See you soon.